This is a public service announcement from Mrs. Green and your third grade teachers here at VES. Today we're talking, boys and girls, about using the blog or using a discussion post or using a Google chat room or something like that. These are things that you're going to be using here at VES as a third grader to communicate with people. Most often you'll be communicating with your friends or with people in your class. Sometimes you'll communicate with a teacher this way. You will use this way of communicating and sharing ideas for the rest of your life. And while you're in school, you'll be doing this with discussion posts in Brain Honey, or you might use a blog like we did yesterday, or you might go into a Google Hangout and communicate. But this is a way that you're going to share ideas all the way through school. Even if you go to college, you'll be doing that. And then when you finish school and get a job, you'll still be using the web or the internet to communicate. So we're going to talk a little bit about what people call netiquette. What in the world is netiquette? Netiquette is manners on the web. And we are talking about this today so we make sure that everybody knows the best way to approach an internet conversation like we had yesterday or recently when people were using the blog. So two main things to remember about netiquette when you're using a blog or using a discussion post here at VES and everywhere you go. Number one, relevance. What in the world is relevance? What it means is you want your blog post or your discussion post or your comment to be related to the question. So some kids this week were blogging about, what are you thankful for? That was the blog post. It was a question that said, what are you thankful for? Because it's November and this is a month that we think about Thanksgiving. So a lot of kids were answering that question telling what they were thankful for. But some kids were saying other things there like, hey, what's up? Or what are you doing after school today? Something like that. Those comments aren't relevant. And so those comments really don't belong in that blog post. And you want to make sure when you are blogging that your comments are relevant. So that's number one to remember. Number two to remember when you're communicating online with a blog or a discussion post in Brain Honey or something like that. You want to use the same manners or respect that you use anytime you're communicating. So for example, you would never want to say something in a blog post like, geez, that's stupid, or who cares? Or even worse, something like, I saw you went to Blue today and I'm telling somebody. Those kinds of things happened in the blog post this time, and we're going to chalk that up to mistakes. And I went through last night and looked, and I noticed those kinds of comments, and I deleted them. And I figured, okay, this is our first time. We haven't talked about netiquette, so we'll just say those were mistakes this time, and we'll throw them out. Now you know, though. So next time you're using the blog or a discussion post or you're doing any communicating online, make sure that your responses are, number one, relevant, and number two, respectful. If you make a mistake in communicating this next time, now that you know, you'll get one of these. This is a blog hog. And this is a reminder, if you make a mistake, that you need to not do that. And if you do make that kind of mistake, your third grade teacher is going to take this blog hog with your name on it, if you were a person who made a mistake, and he or she is going to put this blog hog on their desk so that they know that you are taking a break from using the online communication. So that means you made a manners mistake when you were using the blog. It says take a break, and when you return, mind your digital manners. This is a public service announcement from third grade.